Hey everybody, Chris here. So Dogecoin patterns point to higher prices. We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And on our live stream on Friday, we pointed to 19 cents as a key resistance level, and I thought it would hit it, and it did early this morning. Still struggling on a little pullback to get back up over 19 cents. We'll be watching that on my next live stream, which will be Saturday afternoon. So make sure you're subscribed, you got your notifications on. And for now, there's a lot of good signs out there. So it looks like the whole financial world is looking forward to these big events coming up to sort of clear out all the FUD and negativity. We'll see if all of those comes through. We'll talk about them. Also at the end, a little word of advice on security of your crypto. Somebody got hacked, and we're going to talk about that a little bit too. So let's get into it. Let me show you the charts on the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart. We're about 18.75, just under 19 cents for Doge. This was the line that we drew during our Friday live stream. That was looking at Doge, I had momentum to get up and reach 19 cents. Thought it would do it last night. It was early this morning, about 3 o'clock this morning, my time, that we did actually hit 19 cents and then pulled back from there. And now we're just kind of drifting along sideways on a Saturday. So it looks like we're going to be in this sideways chop here. I mean, we had big volume, of course, yesterday as the market makers dumped the prices, right? And so you get this big volume here of trading, and now it's all just flattened out on the volume. And I think that's what we're going to have on a Saturday, is kind of chopping around here. Bitcoin is at 107,000, and Bitcoin the same thing. Again, big pullback led by Bitcoin, right? Market makers taking this down, taking out long leverage trades, big volume of trading, and then it all just kind of settles down. So that's where we are right now. But look, overall, I get it. There's FUD in the market, right? People are fearful. But look, rate cuts. Next week, the Fed is meeting next week. Jerome Powell said quantitative tightening is ending. Gold is nearing a crazy top. Everybody's buying gold and silver right now. They're at all-time highs. It's kind of crazy, but I get it, right? A lot of people are fearful of fiat and their currencies, and so they're flocking to gold right now. And is that overhyped on the gold side? We'll be watching, but as we showed yesterday during the live stream, right, that gold is probably gonna settle down here, not continue this rocket upwards, but settle down, and there's going to be some rotation going into Bitcoin and crypto. Peace in the Middle East. The China deal is incoming. We got a week to go, and Trump and Xi Jinping are going to meet, and they're going to hopefully finally settle this whole trade thing, because it's just up and down pattern isn't good for the markets. A Russia deal, meeting with Zelensky yesterday, meeting with Putin again coming up. Is that finally going to be sold? Do you understand? I mean, this is all of this stuff is compounding. And you clear out the uncertainty, right? And here's what happens. Pretty sure, as Kook says, this time the bottom is actually in. Blow off top for gold likely signals a return to risk on. Stocks ended the day strong Friday, which was good. Gold topped, then it didn't really dump, but it pulled back some. Crypto's next. So those are all things to look forward to. And then we talked about this 1,064 days on Bitcoin and what's going to happen this cycle. It looks like this cycle is going to extend longer. It really does. This time is really going to be different. And it looks like those confined 4-year cycles may be over. And now we are going to be extending out into a 5-year or something. That looks like what the pattern of the charts is showing right now. So with the Fed flipping, monetary easing coming back, that's what's going to be the driver, not the calendar. So again, we'll be watching this into November and December, seeing what happens as we go forward. The M2 money supply just keeps going up. Of course, this leads to inflationary pressure, and we do price our crypto generally in terms of the United States dollar. That's the comparison we use. And even though the Trump administration is now trying to cut down on the debt, there's still more money. There's still more money out there. And so your buying power does kind of come down a little bit. What does this mean for Doge? I get it. There's still fear in the market. This touched into extreme fear, just touched on it last week, and now we're back to fear. And I get that, right? This will come back up, I believe. And in the short term, Trader Allen says, look, this becomes this double bottom, right? We had the big flash crash on the 10th, and of course it went this wick went much lower. So for Allen's little pattern here, sure, right? Just do the bodies on the daily, just do the bodies of the candles. So let's forget that wick that went all the way down to 9.5 cents. It's sort of like it never happened, right? Just the big wick. But yeah, we'll just ignore that. Started to trade back up. Buyers came in, right? Buyers come in, drive the price up, and then it falls back. And with that fallback, what do you get, right? Eventually you get a bottom. And this is what I called yesterday, the 17.5 cents, right? That is that second bottom there. And now we want to reclaim higher price and move higher. That is the short-term pattern. But what about this major historical pattern? And is the Dogecoin price going to follow this historical pattern? What is happening? A historic pattern has emerged. Odds suggest a possible breakout. Funding rates have normalized. Strong bearish sentiment is slowly stabilizing. Dogecoin price has faced turbulence in recent weeks amid broader market pressure. Still, long-term indicators suggest something bigger could be forming. We talk about particularly for Dogecoin, right? All of these catalysts, potential things for Doge, what's being built for Dogecoin, from the treasuries to adoption. We talked yesterday about its use as the payments to content creators around the world, cross-border payments, getting away from the banks. Despite short-term bearish dominance, the classic meme coin is showing strong chart patterns that have displayed massive rallies in the past. Now Doge is capturing the attention of traders once again. Will Doge show a rally soon? Yeah, we had, right? Trump declared the 100% tariff declaration on Chinese imports, and that was the trigger, right, that Binance used to dump the price, and we saw the huge dump. We saw the huge dump on the price of Doge, and this is the weighted funding rate, right, which dipped way down, right? But what happened? What happened with that panic right there? It got bought back up. It totally got bought back up. So Doge has found stability around 18 cents. Whales and market makers absorbed the heavy selling pressure. This buying behavior indicates accumulation rather than panic, suggesting that smart money may be quietly positioning ahead of a potential uptrend. Derivatives funding rates that briefly spiked amid short positioning have since normalized. That's a signal market sentiment is stabilizing. The Doge price today reflects cautious optimism. Bulls attempting to reclaim control from bears after weeks of volatile swings. The patterns we look at. This is our friend Trader Allen again, zooming out, looking at a bigger picture. The 4-year cycles, right? We're still in the 4th year here. But we have had these accumulation periods before with these symmetrical or somewhat symmetrical triangles, right? Leading into the 2017 run, leading into the 2021 run. And here we are, a little bit of a wider symmetrical triangle thanks to the run that Doge had last November. All on the catalyst, right, of Trump wins the presidency, Elon Musk creates Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. There's a lot of hype around that. That's how Dogecoin trades. And we know the volatility of Doge, right? We know how Doge trades. Is that next piece coming? This accumulation has been going on for quite some time. We look at this, the accumulation, right? Accumulation. And on a little bit shorter term, we see that. 2024 early run up, and then there's this accumulation. Late 2024, the run up, pulls back, and then we have accumulation again. We're following that same line, which points to a bullish format that could lead to higher prices. Even Ali, even our friend Ali is looking at it on his chart now, zoomed in a little bit, right? So he's not talking about $10 and $18 Doge, but rather coming up to, well, I mean, the arrow comes up a little higher, but his line here is about 82-cent Dogecoin at the top. And down here, it's about 42, which are the same numbers I've got on my chart. So he's following my chart right there. But key targets, right? These are the key targets. So this is positive for Dogecoin. We're just going to keep following all this, keeping our eyes on the charts. But there is some warnings, and we do have to talk about warnings. This is cryptocurrency after all. And we've got our friend here, Brandon LaRoque, and you can search for him on YouTube here, Brandon LaRoque. He had over $3 million of XRP stolen off his cold wallet. I can summarize here. It's an ElphaPex wallet that he had. There seems to be some confusion between hot wallet and cold wallet. And when he was setting the wallet up, and this was years ago, but when he was setting up the wallet, apparently there was a step where he was supposed to like type in his seed phrase into the app. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. You never type your seed phrase in anywhere. You write it down on a piece of paper, pen and paper. You never type it anywhere. You don't even take a screenshot of your seed phrase and keep it anywhere. Just don't do it. So there's that. And he also in this video mentioned airdrops. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. You don't accept airdrops into your cold storage wallet, right? If you want to go and pursue airdrops and get free crypto, just create a new wallet, a Trust wallet or MetaMask wallet or something like that. Don't use the wallet that holds all your crypto to accept airdrops. But you're inviting the hackers in when you do that. So he's put out a couple follow-up videos. He's working with Homeland Security, FBI, local police really couldn't help him, right? They don't have a digital asset like unit to go in. And he's been able on the blockchain like follow his XRP. And there's a big spider web out there of where all of his XRP went, and it seems to be like consolidating back into wallets. So he's following all of that, but that doesn't help him get his XRP back. And will he ever? We'll see how it all unfolds going forward. But yeah, if you're going to accept airdrops, you're going to do anything else, create a new wallet and just put on there what little you need, whether it's Solana or ETH or something, whatever you need for the airdrop. Just put that minimum amount in a new wallet to get your free crypto. Don't have your big wallet, right, with all of your life savings in there. And then you're going to accept, what, a few dollars worth of airdrop crypto, and you're going to put your whole bag at risk. Also, you shouldn't just have one cold wallet, right, and have all of your crypto in one wallet. It's best to diversify it a bit and have a few wallets where you hold things, and some on an exchange as well that you use for trading, but still be careful about holding crypto on exchanges always. Be careful about your passwords, right, especially for your phone. But you don't want to have apps on your phone that are, that can be hacked or accessed, through SIM swapping or whatever on your phone. So be careful out there. We talk more about this during our live streams as well. So be careful. I wish Brandon luck. I hope he gets his XRP back, or at least there's some kind of future where hackers are at least identified and found out. So we'll be watching that story as well as we go forward. Meanwhile, here we are on a Saturday. It's going to be kind of choppy and quiet, I believe, around this area. So we'll be watching that going forward too. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Dogecoin and using patterns of the past, what looks to be now an extended cycle. The 4-year cycles may be over. We'll be exploring more of that as we get through October into November. We see where those catalysts are, see what's happening. We'll be watching all that as well. Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.